I got into agriculture when I was a little boy, I guess. Somewhere around that 10 years old or so, I started driving tractors for my dad. And I'm from the local area in Nebraska here. And so then when I was, after graduating from school, I stayed on the farm for about 4 to 5 years and decided that wasn't what we wanted to do. So we moved into McCook and started in the agronomy fertilizer department back in those days. And started out driving nurse trucks and running floaters, doing custom application, and learned the business. And I'm now been the agronomy manager for Frenchman Valley Co-op's McCook location now for probably 20 years. Been in this business about 27 years now. So been around a lot of different ideas, from eco-follow farming, no-till farming's moved in, a lot of dry land in the area, a lot of irrigated corn, soybeans, wheat, alfalfa, forage sorghums, sorghum sedans, everything. So we have a very varied crop area that we work with here. We started with the AVAIL. It's been a number of years ago. In fact, it probably hadn't even been heard too much of when the specialty fertilizer people come out and talk to us about it. We have a big dry plant. We could work with it. Wanted to see that 10% return on investment, and that should be, if we can consistently get that 10% return. It's much easier to convince the grower, the customer, that this is money well spent. We're going to spend some money, but we're going to actually get that money back. And so that's been our approach at it. And we've seen that on high pH grounds or even normal grounds with AVAIL. We've seen that bump in yield at 5 bushel to more than that, depending on soil types and some things like that. It's most noticeable in the wheat crop, putting it in with the starter fertilizers, or we run a custom planting operation where we custom drill and custom plant wheat. We can put that in with our air seeders along with the dry fertilizer, and that's where we see the biggest noticeable difference. I've got some producers out here that farm up and down the river valleys here that's got a lot of high pH ground on irrigated corn. They ask for it every year. They've seen the results, the side-by-sides when they didn't put it on. And so we put that in with their liquid blends every year when that goes in. And on the dry, if we happen to put dry on per year. So some of the benefits that we see with AVAIL, one, we don't ever have had any problem with it mixing in with the liquid fertilizers. It mixes real good. It carries through the winter real good. We don't have to, we have all heated storage in this facility, but we don't, and producers have some out on the farm. They don't have to worry about it. Can shake it up. It goes back in next year really well. Mixes on the dry fertilizer. It dries down real good. We haven't had any problem with the wetting or anything, or the dry fertilizer being too wet. So it's easy product to work with. It comes in package sizes that we can work with, the grower can work with very well. Most producers will trust the university data. If companies come to me that haven't went to the universities to get their data and get their side-by-sides, get their stuff done with them, it's much tougher to get a producer to put on this product. Especially Fertilizers Group has done a very good job of using university plot data and plots around the country, and it's easy for me to pull up that information, go through in our areas or other areas, and actually make that transition work, and show them the data, and then the fact that most of our producers will trust what we do too. If we can get that return, which on most soils we can, because we're making that AVAIL and that phosphorus available to the plant, we need to build that root system first. Without a good foundation under a plant, everything else fails. So that's where we start. We build the foundation with the root system, and that's where the AVAIL is going to help you do that. And I think that's the main key. Even in dry weather, if we build a bigger root system, more root hairs, larger roots, deeper roots, we'll be able to take more advantage of dry land conditions. Sometimes in Nebraska we don't get any rain for periods of time, that's when we'll see that plant hold on and go ahead and survive those until the next rain. Frenchman Valley's moving closer to treating most of our phosphates coming in on the dry fertilizer, and just pricing that right into that blend, and because we're comfortable with the return on investment of that. I don't know why we need to go back to the other, even in the forage sorghums and anything else out there. We got to build a root system, and so why are we not just doing what we know works?